Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NLC. Our undefeated team has just been defeated, and you know what will be even crazier, Rude, almost, is if UniQ managed to take down Nord this game.
That's true. That's true. And Nord now in the position where they can tie up in the standings. There's a world where we see Nord go 8-1, and honestly, a very realistic world where we see Nord go 8-1 up against UniQ, who are in a battle now to really make that last-ditch effort for playoffs. We saw Verdant take a win earlier on today. There are three teams currently tied at 2 and 6, UniQ being one of them. We'll see these two play in our final game of the day. Both of these teams really importantly looking for a win because Nord are now not only looking to keep level with Riddle, but also keep distance from Ruddy.
Yeah, I think if we go back to the side of UniQ, it's very much win here and you keep yourself in the playoff race, lose here, and while you're not mathematically eliminated, it becomes near impossible. There are very, very few ways you can then make it into playoffs, so after the Verdant win, there is now so much pressure on UniQ to beat a team like Nord, which is an unreasonably high standard to set, but they have to overcome the standard. They want to keep themselves relevant in that playoff place.
We do have that draft though, and a lot of bot lane attention in this one as well. Ashvar has taken off the table, the Azir away from Fury, and with the final ban of the table, we get to see maybe a bit more jungle here. Elise has been banned every game so far today, but we could well see it left open if we want to see Akaban or something a little bit new.
Yeah, let's see what gets banned. It will not be the Elise. Obviously, the Annie, we are on 13-3, very broken in the support position, has been taken away. Just to quickly reiterate, Maokai, Ashe, and Varus taken off the table alongside the Azir, Caitlyn, and Annie. So focus on many different lanes, but support and AD carry in particular, getting 2 champs each removed from the pool. And you mentioned the Elise being banned every single game today. It is now left open and it is taken by the side of Nord.
Quite rightly so. Gives you a lot of early game control on the side of Nord, and they should be looking to push through. And what we've seen from them quite frequently is a tendency to play toward this bot side, weirdly enough. And with an Elise, you can still do that. It's more typically seen, you know, we think of the Renekton and Elise pairings as of times gone by. Can see it go up to that top side, but Nord in particular haven't been too fond of that strategy. Sejuani picked up though for Antwer, this champion we just saw, absolutely jungle canyon. So again, you have a lot of potential to maybe even match the Elise early on, but it's a very early Zeri coming through actually. And there's an opportunity now for Nord to go for Hypercarry plus Lulu and really ruin a bit of the synergy that you're going to get to see from the UniQ bot lane.
And Seraphine Hover at the moment for Nord could go down to the bot lane, could go mid lane as well, potentially. So a very flexible pick if they decide to go that route. Do we change it last minute though? And instead it's very aggressive and it's very AD carry. It's the Draven.
And this leads into the Nord tendencies. All right, we said it just when they locked in the Elise. They have this tendency to play toward the bot side. I really like the fact that they see Zeri and go, okay, we can slam this in the laning phase. And we mean that in the most literal sense because it is a very weak early game AD carry for Cyrax here. He's going to have to do so much work in the early stages just to go even with Woolite. A Rakan can find engages, and Elise can set up for dives very easily. The early game for Nord, it might well be very telegraphed, but there may not be a lot of things that you can do when you're playing into a Draven Rakan Elise.
Yeah, and it's very much, right? If you guys saw the Fnatic vs G2 matchup at the start of the window split, G2 got 3 kills on Hasama, who was on the Draven, against Reckless's Seri. Instantly, the goalie was too big, Seri was never able to scale, and that's maybe what we'll be seeing here from Nord this time around as well. Now, though, moving on to the second ban phase, let's see what UniQ ban out to try and limit the early game presence of Nord.
So there are 3 champs that we typically see banned away from well, right? Jax, Darius, and Olaf. One of them is going to be open. There's a world where we see Nihus take the 3rd one as the blind pick in the top lane, which is, you know, to each their own. And then we get the compulsory, we're playing against Paul Caliban as well as we head into the second phase. Has been Paul's just best champion, has made too many highlight reel plays already on the pick this season, even if they've been for losses. I think that this has been by far and away the champ that we're most synonymously looking at Paul with. And they get one more mid lane ban, hopefully going to take out another one of those aggressive style champions that gives Paul a lot of playmaking potential.
Yeah, so now just to see what Nord really look to ban out here, could be more mid lane as you said. I'm thinking about what will NiHu's lock in here as well. You mentioned potentially the Olaf due to it being the one banned champ or the one champ that WoW plays that hasn't been banned. And that could definitely be a thing. Maybe I'm thinking the Ornn as well. We know NiHu's is able to take one for the team, go the tank, go the engage, go the front line. Maybe they know that hasn't worked out for him, but there are definitely many options. Or you could even just, flex this Sejuani up top lane.
And so far for UniQ, again, it's a death ball composition, and for Nord, it's that early game aggressive composition. So you're looking for things to complement both of those sides. When the Jace gets locked in, it's a great takeaway as well, because Jace can give a lot of control in an early laning phase, and then you also just getting a lot of priority for your own lane as well, right? Again, a flex pick for NiHu's and for Paul. It feels a bit more Paul-esque than it does for NiHu's, but that's not to say that we can't still see it head up to that top side.
I'm still just waiting on the top lane here because Nord, they decided to lock in that mid lane as well. That will be the Victor now scaling for Fury in the mid lane, as it is now back to WoW. Olaf opened. Maybe something else. We know he doesn't really play the Ornn, so I'm not expecting a tank.
Could go for Gnar or something like that as well. There are a couple just safe blind pick options if he's not feeling particularly adventurous, and we know that NiHu's does tend toward those tanks where Gnar has a decent matchup as well, but it is just that blind Olaf. So opting into this pick, knowing that this is the one of the three, right, that we highlighted from the draft, you can go for it blind as well. I do think that NiHu's has not been performing up to the same level as we needed him to, so a blind Olaf, potentially a little disrespectful against the higher echelon of top laners, but NiHu's hasn't been in that realm at the minute.
So what will the lock-in be? Because as you said, that Jace could go top lane, and it will, thanks to the Orianna lock-in for Paul. So with the lineups now completed, UniQ pull out the flex pick, put in NiHu's on a more carry-oriented player. Something he was known for back in the day, but UniQ have had most success to split is on him more on the tank team playing duty. So I'm excited to see how this will work out with him now having more responsibility to dish out the damage and carry a bit more of the game.
I will say I'm a fan of this. I think if you're going to try and match 2 or 3 versus 3 on the bot side, you were never going to win that fight. You lost that one going in from the onset. Draven Rakan are going to slam Zeri Lulu, whether or not there's a jungle pick there to match. So they've gone up to this top side and said, this is an area of the map that we can play through for this early game. It could go very poorly for them. It may well result in them getting stomped on all 3 lanes. It may well result in both side lanes just being absolutely detrimental, but it gives them a way where they can win this matchup in the early stages of the game. It gives NiHu some tools to be a presence on the Rift and hopefully compare up nicely with Antwerp. We already saw how well a Jason Sejuani can combine. If we get an early gank into that top side, wow, probably going to go Flash Ghost. He's going to be very difficult to try and take down, but if there's that enough hard CC, then there's certainly tools available to the UniQ roster to try and find an advantage.
For me, Root, I am keeping my eyes on the early game here and the pace that will be set from the side of Nord. Yeah, I guess just saying hello to the guys. It's another little Dane on broadcast. Why not pull him in? I like my Danes on. Regardless, though, I'm looking at Nord. I'm looking at the early game. I want to see Akabane go bot. I want to see them get some gold on Woolite. I want to see him get ahead. Because if that goes into a 30-35 minute, the game becomes way more even. I want to see them use that early game advantage.
Yes, we're right there with you, Duckling. Draven demands early game priority. The Elise does the same thing. If we combine the two, we have a winning bot side of the map. And hopefully we get to see Nord put that to the test. It's a strategy that has worked for them time and time again. The identity for me of this team as a whole has been, let's look to play through bot lane. WoW will win his lane on his own. We do not need to facilitate him in any way. He will win regardless of our control, and is just a really strong weak side top laner. And when they find those leads with the Draven, with the Elise, whether or not they're big enough or not, you get to these 5v5 team fights around 2nd or 3rd Drake, and WoW just demolishes everyone. So they've got a really cohesive composition. It fits nicely with this, and I think that this is a great example as well for Fury of what we heard from him in interview as well, right? Asked him what's his role within the team, and it's not necessarily to just have to play the Akali, the Echo, or whatever along those lines. It's to be the role player and recognize my team need me to play the Victor this game. Might not be my favorite champion, but I'm here to do a job for the squad. They're going to be winning the game outside of mid lane. They just need me to hold down the fort.
Yeah, and I think, that shows some of the strength of Nord, that they don't, that some of their players are able to take the step back, because we've seen someone like Woolite do it as well. on the Sivir. He scales up in the team fights. He'll be there when needed, but he's not getting the resources. The fact that they're able to change their style, now we'll have to see if they succeed. Change their style, go for the Draven, play towards the bot lane. If those kind of stuff can work out as well, they have so many options of who to play again or who to play towards in their game. And I'm really excited to see if they can now unlock their bot lane potential as well.
And for UniQ as well, right, coming into this, obviously the decided underdogs on paper, it goes without saying, but it's worth remembering that I do think Paul has had some really standout performances. I think that an Orianna is a pick that can certainly warp a game in your favor just off of one shockwave. So there are enough tools on the board for UniQ to have a pretty standout match. We've already seen one upset today. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a second one, because of our 2-6 teams, I think UniQ have been the most likely to perform an upset.
Yeah, I love upsets. It's one of the things I really, really like. It looks very weird down there on the left side. I'm sorry, guys.
We cannot have transparent photos. It's just not okay.
That's fantastic. I love it. Regardless, though, no early game action, it seems, as maybe Note will go in and get a war, but won't be able to get more than that. They'll know where Underwear starts, and they can then use that information as they like.
And shockingly here, Duckling, this may surprise you, but Akabane is going to path to bot lane.
Oh, he is? I was not prepared for that.
It's going to path toward the Draven, shockingly enough. Wants to make sure that Woolite can get as many leads as possible. I'll be looking at how well Woolite and Kissing control that early lane as well. Make sure that their wave is in a good spot for the timer of Akabane to make his presence felt on that bot side. There's a certain world where we see just a 3-wave crash and dive with Akabane doing like 2 camps and taking E second or something. So there are a lot of unique paths open to an Elise, particularly in this game when you've got Rakan Draven to play to on your bot side. But for the time being, it has been we can expect mundane, and then when the chaos ensues, we'll adapt accordingly.
So we're simply just holding up, right? That's the way I'm looking at this early game. Looking at Akabane, where is he going? How will Anwar respond? And can Nork get the spot lane ahead early on? Maybe, there could be some exciting fights up in the top lane, but I don't really care. I want to see the bot lane. I want to see if UniQ can handle this, because I feel like if UniQ do manage to handle it and not really give too much up, and they scale up, they have a chance of winning this game, but they need to survive. Now is the most important time of the game for them, it feels almost.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning here, they have incredible scaling. Zeri, Orianna in a late game team fight are going to be incredibly difficult to try and fight up against, particularly for a Draven. You will just get outranged if you don't have some tools to get on top of that Zeri. And likely the Olaf as well is going to have a really difficult time playing up against Cyrax if we get to a late game at an even stage. The Zeri is very good at kiting out on Olaf in particular. You get ramping movement speed with your ulti. Your E also allows you to traverse terrain, something that Olaf is notoriously bad at. So without that flash, we're certainly going to struggle. And if they do go into this late game at an even phase, then UniQ, again, skyrocket in their chances.
So here it is. We can almost see as the wave gets pushed in, and we're rotating down. Akabane is here. All summoners are available. How does no one pull this
Who
off?
could have seen this coming? 3 waves in and we're diving.
So Cyrax, the first initial target, good juke, has the flash available, but knocked up, locked down. Woolite unable to get the kill though, as he might now be going down. One more auto should do it. No, a good shield as he gets one.
Wow.
And now that is not rolling. A kill on that Draven, 2 kills in total. And that is just the start. The French team pretty much won it.
I mean, this is exceptionally telegraphed, right? Like, there's no way that you're taking Elise Draven and not diving on that wave. I do think it's an oversight from Antwerp to not just be there. I know he's taking the Gromp, but that's not close enough. You can see Nord do a great job. Paul now in trouble. He's got flash, so should be fine.
It does have the flash. Will that be enough?
No, no. Dead. No.
So Akabane can simply trade his for the kill. 3 quick kills for Nord, and the most crucial point of the game has already happened.
Just small execution errors here from UniQ, right? Antwerp needed to be in that bot lane a little bit earlier, needed to be present for that dive on the window. Paul needed to flash earlier. You can't allow for the Elise to get fully on top of you like that. There was, again, very telegraphed route that we saw come through. As soon as that Elise repels, you can just flash away, and then Akabane can't target anything. Looks like a bit of a fool repelling in the middle of the lane, but uses that for the gap close, and you don't flash in time. Again, issues starting to come through in just the micros of the players from UniQ, and Nord quite rightly here capitalizing 3-0 already in a very good spot to start out this match. And with this position that they've got, they're going to look to snowball the Draven, snowball the Elise, and like I say, they've just got all the tools to do it.
And very much felt like, to me at the very least, if it was just Kasing getting that first blood, it would have been the end of the world. But as Antwer almost had the kill, he ended up dying instead to Woolite, and then everything's just went from bad to worse. And now they are very far behind. News being pushed underneath his shirt, up in the top lane as well. As they were boarding their bot lane, they've rotated Pillarson up here to try and get something back.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to here. NeHughes was under threat of being dove had they not pulled up. You know, maybe just the first would have been enough, and Paul's dead again in the mid lane. This is going from bad to worse for the mid laner. We'd touted him to be this sort of rock in the mid lane that UniQ have needed and relied on to find their wins in the past, but with him going down and this early game getting worse and worse, there's 2k difference already. We're like, you can see exerting his pressure in this bot side exceptionally well. Noon Quiver early means that he's going to be a very powerful force through this laning phase still, and with Woolite on the Draven, snowballing is king. He's already managed to find a 2k gold lead with the rest of the team, and if you can continue on that trend, it's just going to be over before it's ever even begun for the UniQ squad.
And if Fury even just 5 minutes in starts stealing away camps, we have to remember how much relied on this game in terms of the standings. UniQ really needed this win, or need this win, to keep themselves in the playoff race, because as Verdant won today, being 4 games behind, it's going to be near impossible to catch up with just 5 games left to play. That requires Verdant to have a very bad period at the very least. And for North, they want to close the gap up to Riddle, who just lost a game, tie up that first place seed, and keep themselves tightly at the top of the NLC.
Could disengage though here. This is the power of Rakan, of course. You have 2 dashes to safety at the very least. You can use one to engage, one to disengage after the fact. Good presence from Antwer to be here just sort of on a window where Nord can look for a bit of aggression. They want to make sure that the wave for Cyrax and Pedersen does end up crashing fully under the turret.
Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. There is no flash on Cyrax. Good slow from Pedersen with the glitter lance, but I could have turned very sour as Paul seems to die yet again in this pit lane.
We are seeing some junglers show up today, some not. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he was just dead here, to be honest. Wow, solo bolos him. It's not even gone from bad to worse. It's gone from worse to near impossible. As UniQ have given up 6 kills in 6 minutes all across the map.
Wow, the worst teammate for Nord right now ruins Akaban's 100% kill participation record here. Tier 2 boot so that he could zoom around the map, unfortunately, gets ruined by the fact that his top lane can find solo kills. No Cocoon here.
He's up with the repel. Very nicely done. Yeah. I mean, it's near perfectly played, and it just showcases how good Nord have been this game. Every time UniQ has tried something, Nord has read it like a book, and either left before anything could even happen, or very quickly managed to get out as soon as something started to happen.
2.5k gold lead already. I mean, 3k even is incredible. 7 minutes into the game, they are absolutely steamrolling this lead up, and with the Akaban lead, being able to transition that across the rift is going to be crucial. He's got 50% more gold than his counterpart, and that might not seem like a lot. I don't know how well that translates, but
it's a lot.
So early on into a game, that is incredible. That is so much gold to have over your counterpart.
It's a lot of
your gold and then half of that again, you know?
And the thing is, now with neutral objectives spawning as well, he can take that gold lead and apply it to get a Drake, apply it to get a Herald, and apply it to maybe get another kill top, because NeHughes has no flash. It's a very long lane he's caught in, and that's wow. Should be able to lock him down here with the undertow. NeHughes almost underneath his turret. Might be able to get out to safety. Akabane, though, has the repel, unable to use it.
No.
And that is actually a massive shutdown back for him.
Yeah, a bit of a misstep there from Akabane. You're thinking, okay, I can dive and find the kill.
No, might be losing a couple things. That's just a flash in mid lane, but for UniQ, it's something back. We have to say that.
It is, and gold onto the top lane carry for UniQ here. NeHughes has got to step into the role.
Oh no.
That's a great cleanse.
Oh, it's a very good cleanse, but it's also a good flash. Yes, Cyrex still dies, but he does not die to Woolite, who spent the past 5 minutes building up those adoration stacks. So it is better to give the kills over to Kasing than to give them over to Woolite.
Feel like soon there's going to be one that goes their way. Antwer's mid lane, though, has got ult 2v2. Okay, forced out to safety here. Looks like Paul and Antwer were fishing for the flashless victor. As well, once again, going to step up. Does have Ragnarok here, but I don't think there's the space between the turret and safety to allow NiQ's death here.
And now Nord will try and look to get their lead to some objectives. They will trade 1-for-1 because they weren't able to pick up the Drake before the 8-minute mark. But they get the most important objective in terms of snowballing the game even further. Now just one more successful dive or gang down in the bot lane. I think that might even seal the game if they get a couple of kills onto Woolite and then give him a turret afterwards with plates.
First Drake is going the way of UniQ, though, which is not what you anticipate from a Draven Elise lane. Potentially a little bit of an oversight here from Akaban, but he is not. Honestly, he's been too busy to be going for Drake. Drake is a big commitment from an early game jungle, and if you're doing that, you're not finding kills on the map, and that's something that Akaban has, sort of recognized and gone, well, I can do this or I can do that, and he's opted into just getting a lot of gold, not necessarily setting up for the super early game win condition of Assault. Can't discredit him for that. It's a great decision, and with the Rift Herald in his pocket as well, it's not like he's been lazy on those neutrals.
Oh, definitely not. And as I said earlier, right? The ability to snowball with a Herald is so good. And when you have someone who snowballs as well as a Draven, if you get a successful play off bot lane, it's going to matter so much. And as we saw before, there is no flash, no heal. So within the next couple minutes, Nord should be able to go down there and get on a couple more kills.
Waiting to see how this Rift Herald does get used, right? You mentioned that they can use it down on the spot side. It's the expected play, but Antwer is, no slouch either. Expect this one. Has no cleanse here, does Woolite. There's a Glacial Prison ready to go. They may well find Woolite, but there are 3 people from Nord also collapsing for this dive.
Oh, yeah. This is a very weird situation. Now Woolite forces to flash away, and very quickly Nord will be able to catch up and make this a man advantage situation for them. A kill onto Woolite, that's what they're looking for. TP. That's a good 2-man charm. The Whirling Death gets them both into his pocket. As now Akabane repels the ultimate, the plates to Woolite. It's more gold. It's a bigger lead into the hands of Nord.
Double kill from that Whirling Death is gorgeous. You mentioned that it was great that Cyrex flashed away from it the first time. NiQ's has fallen once more in that top lane, and again, it's UniQ just crumbling under the pressure of Nord. This early game composition is to pulls TP just a little too late. By the time he arrives, his bot lane is already dead. Kasing on a slither of HP gets in, double knock up, double charm, gets out without dying. It is precision gameplay from Nord, and they are absolutely dominating.
And now it is a 2.3k gold lead just between the AD carries. There's a 2,000 gold lead in the jungle as well. There's 1,000 gold lead pretty much in the mid lane as well, in the bot lane as well, and in the top lane, it's even worse. About 1,200, 1,300. As WoW has managed to find himself 2 solo kills. Nord have taken this game, and they've run with it after a very, very good early game.
And their, carry tools for UniQ are so far away from being online that you're just expecting this to be another fast bleed out here. All of our games so far today have really felt the same. Flash force there from Pearlison. He just steps a little too close to Woolite, who will happily burn the cleanse to burn the flash of a squishy target. That's just an extra kill to come and gain a little bit later on. You can see the later on it is right now. Akaban, Kasing, they're here. They want to try and find a turret, try and find a kill, something to keep this snowball rolling. Basically, wherever they go, as long as they are as this 3v3, 3-man core, they're going to find the lead that they need.
Now, just zoning out, allowing Woolite to slowly but surely pick up these plates as well. The plate number 4 for him, he did have to check gold on 2 of them. And while we are keeping our eyes on the bot lane, it is now a third solo kill for WoW in this game.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point of the top lane matchup where turrets aren't your friends anymore, NiQ's. It is if Olaf is on your screen, you can't be there, pretty much. And it is unfortunate as now more picks.
Yeah, and we're locked up, forced to flash away. But that flash won't even matter as he's locked up regardless. That is actually a big shutdown down on the bot lane, though. It is yet again something back as Woolite falls to Pillars and Cyrex. Very, very messy there, especially as Cyrex did manage to pick up the kill as well, with the 350 gold bounty on top of it.
So that's good. That's a tick in the box for UniQ. The issue is that they're literally down full mythic item in the bot lane, and even with that kill going back, they're down 8,000 gold. It's not even close, really, to being a competitive game still, even with that shutdown going their way. And there's only so many ways that we can phrase that before we have to recognise that this game is probably just over. Nord have taken the top turret largely individually, right? WoW found that one gank was all that he needed and had already got a solo kill prior to that. But now with this Stride Breaker double pickaxe build even, he's going to be feeling emboldened to go wherever he well pleases on the map. There's nothing that any of UniQ can particularly do, because he has got a 2-level lead on everybody on UniQ, and some situations literally 5-level difference. So it's a difficult game for UniQ, and one that unfortunately they're just going to kind of have to play out and hope that Nord screw the pooch a bit.
And I mean, with that, Rude, I'd like to take some time because I want to know, how has your off week been? Did you have a nice week?
Did I have a nice week? You know, I sat back, I watched more NLC, and I gained a deeper appreciation for how we don't give enough credit over to WoW. I think that this game has been a perfect example of WoW being too good that we just can't show everybody him on camera. Because he's had like 3 solo kills, and we've just neglected to show the absolutely bullying that has gone on that top side.
Yeah.
Dunkley, how was your ski trip?
I mean, my ski trip was pretty good. I got sick one day into skiing, so I skied one day, and then I got sick, and then I had to lay in my room, or not in my room, but in the little house we had, as Nihus should fall yet again. I thought this was too brutal for TV. Regardless, I guess it's not. But yeah, I was sick, and I read a couple books.
Oh, okay. The counter to why that wasn't bullying anymore is because Nord used the power of friendship. They pulled Fury up as well, so it's like a lesson to be learned in how to be a team. You know, that's why that was allowed.
I have to stop you here. Did you just say bullying is okay as long as you do it with a friend?
No, don't think that's what I said.
No, that's pretty much what you said.
That doesn't sound like something I would endorse.
No, that was pretty much what you said. I'm pretty certain. I mean, maybe you phrased it differently.
Nope.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna have to trust you. I'm gonna have to trust you on that one, then.
I don't care if that's what I said. I'm not gonna admit that I said it afterwards. that's just not okay.
What a game! And it is certainly a game of League of Legends. 60 minutes in, almost a 10k goal.
Can WoW 1v3?
I think he can, to be honest. He has 2 items. Ghost now. Pop. He just needs to run down Cyrex. Yeah, pop the ult and just run down Cyrex, right? No, run down Pillars instead. Maybe that's the answer. Oh, that's actually not too good. Never mind. Edward just dies, and it is a 1v3. He can do it, and he will do it, because he does not carry you so much, man. As well.
Not yet.
No
my
way!
gosh.
He's too good. He is too good.
Leave! Will I leave? No. Naughty AD carry. This is a 1v3. Alright. Give it to the Draven. That makes sense.
Yeah, give him his stacks there. That's 235 extra gold. I mean, while we watch this replay, dude, I want to talk about the fact that, you know, with WoW being hyped so much by the French community, it's very hard to say that he was not overhyped. But I'm going to say he was not overhyped because the hype has been deserved. This lived up to the expectations we had of a, you know, highlight moment, solo killing, carry top lane player. He's delivered that in pretty much every single game. He has so much responsibility from the entire French community on him, and he's living up to their expectations time and time and time again. As he might just find another kill here. Maybe he can get it on Pillars instead. He does not care because the Ragnarok is popped, and he's now godlike in 17 minutes. The base is broken open route in 17 minutes. The Herald just charged down an inhibitor at 18 minutes.
This turret as well. They're going to get another charge off. This isn't fair. It's 18 minutes into the game and there's a Nexus turret on 10% HP. There was one of two. There were 2 ways this game was going to go. One was Nord wouldn't find too many early advantages. UniQ would scale nicely into the late game. And they'd have this Zeri really doing meaningful damage with a great teamfight shockwaves from Paul. The other side of the coin is the unfortunate reality that we find ourselves in, which is that Nord would find 1-2 kills maybe in the first couple of minutes off of a dive, and they would snowball it to oblivion. And that's where we find ourselves right now, Duckling, with a insurmountable gold deficit, a lead on an Olaf that no amount of gold would be able to challenge.
He bought a Kraken Slayer, bro. He bought a Kraken Slayer. He does not care. He
Who?
has 3 items. Wow.
Try again. Try again. That's not a Kraken Slayer.
Oh, stop, man.
That's not a Kraken Slayer, my king.
It's collector.
Try
He's collecting
again.
the gold, man. Wow. How can I mess up the items, Dave? That's my comfort zone.
Oh,
Wow, I'm embarrassed by myself. Regardless, though, Cyrex is dead.
Great play. You know what? We don't need to say more, to be honest. Now, it's at this point in the game when there's like a nice lead that colorcasters like to talk about how a game should be closed out and how the appropriate macro steps to be taken, need to be taken.
Yeah.
For Nord, the appropriate steps are kill anyone you see, because there's not particularly anything that can be said, right, by UniQ. There are no composition of players that can deal with Woolite, Kasing, and WoW. If Fury and Akaban AFK'd, I think that Nord would still win.
I mean, if everyone AFK'd except for WoW, I think they will still win 8-0. He's already 3v1, and now he has a third item. He has that collector. I mean, he's going to be collecting all their souls and getting himself another pentacle.
Pentacle is decidedly on the cards. Baron, however, is the more realistic possibility right now, because it has just spawned, unfortunately, when you've got such a gold lead and so much gold in your own pockets relative to the state of the game. This thing will just melt. 2 items on an Elise, 2 items on your Draven. Very, very speedy for this little thing. They can go to a Drake if they want to, but if I'm Nord right now, they're not going to be in this game for another 15 minutes.
No,
I could not be bothered about getting the Drakes and for the soul.
Rude, do you play chess? I know chess has gotten very big in Denmark and Danish schools. But do you play on chess.com?
No. I have played chess before, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very bad at chess. I don't play it, but I know at the moment that UniQ, they're playing checkers, and Nord, they've been playing chess for about 20 minutes.
I'm playing 4D chess, and unfortunately UniQ are still on Cluedo. It's not even like... we're not even in the same realms. The board's different colours, it's got different pieces and everything, like... It's insane.
Nah, that's Pilsner.
Goodbye.
And let's just enjoy the massacre. As Nihu's forced to flash away, that will be another turret falling into the hands of Nord as they will take down their second inhibitor of the game. 21 minutes in, they will look to siege down the final Nexus turret of a game, of a competitive game in the NLC, as they are more than 10k gold ahead. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing, but Nord have just dismantled UniQ in 21 minutes and 30 seconds.
I don't know. WoW had Comp League at 7 and then had a hot date at 8. Like, my guy needs to go get ready. That was super fast. They spent no time wasted. Team dinner out tonight. Like, they knew they'd got the reservation booked, and they were making every attempt to get there on time.
Wow, I cannot believe we had such a storm. But you highlighted it earlier, and I think what you highlighted is completely correct. There was the realm where UniQ didn't give up too much in the early game. Woolite didn't get snowballing, and we would see the late game team fights. Or there was this realm where the early game did go in favor of Nord, and they dominate the game. Because it is not surprising the game went this way with the draft as soon as you saw Nord starting to get rolling. So I don't think we should dog too much on UniQ, because they just got outplayed a couple times in the early game, and then they couldn't play the game for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a couple early mistakes that UniQ couldn't make, that once they've been made, there's just nothing that you can do. You're already too far down the cannon. There's like 2-3 windows where you can allow slight errors, but not the sizes that UniQ gave over in the early stages of the game. So genuinely, just a clean game from Nord, right? They even got a little bit fun, a little bit limit testy through the end, but that didn't even really seem to phase them.
Yeah, I have massive news as well. For the first time on NLC broadcast, we have WoW for the winner's interview.
Oh, no.
I'm always trying to think about what I should ask him. I'm excited. Why did he build not the Kraken Slayer, the Collector? I mean, we know why. He was too fat. He didn't care.
We still need our unique interview though. No.
I mean, we still have,
and we're waiting. On
yeah,
that.
But I wanted to announce it. I was really excited by the news we got on an interview.
Keep everybody engaged.
Yeah, I mean,
while we'll be here.
I will say I should at some point throughout the split just learn a couple words of French because it would be really cool to say something in French. But I can say something in Mandarin though.
Every time, man, we talk about languages. Oh, I speak Mandarin.
No, I don't speak good Mandarin, man. I get bad grades in Chinese, but I've had 2.5 years of headache trying to study Chinese, so I need to be able to flex it every now and then, man. I can't not say it in every conversation.
I studied Spanish in high school, so that's my contribution. That's all I'm going to put. Sí, bueno.
I can actually say, where's the milk in Spanish? My sister taught me that because she had Spanish as well. Doce la leche. That was really bad. I've forgotten it over the years.
That wasn't correct. Yeah.
Donde está la leche? Thank you, producers. I'm trying to remember
I was going to say, that was just not right. That was just not it. You got the first word wrong. It's a great start for you, Duckling, though.
Languages. I
just
love
trilingual, multilingual savant.
Yeah, I mean, I do speak German, though.
What I do forget is that people who aren't native English, like yourself, right, just also speak their native language. So like, you just speak Danish and I don't. Oh yeah, that's an extra language.
I mean, come to Denmark, I'll learn you as we watch this absolute dismantling of UniQ. Nord snowballed the early game, and then obviously Nord are good enough to close out the game after that as well. 10 minutes later from this highlight, the game is over, by the way, and here's the 1v3 from WoW. Just enjoy it. Yeah, he takes that guy and then he just slaps Cyrex a couple times, forces him to deflect away. Yeah, go on.
Talk about how silly Scandinavian languages are.
Oh, don't do that, man. You're on the Scandinavian broadcast.
I know. It's how difficult it was for me because I started learning a couple bits of Danish. I did my first 2 lessons of Duolingo in Danish, right?
Yeah.
And the way that English translates, the English letter for J, right, translates to Danish is just completely off.
J?
You have a word that's like yai. Right, but that's spelled J-E-G, which in English is jeg.
Yeah,
which is just completely different.
Yeah, and in Danish it's jai.
Yeah, do you hear how good my pronunciation was, by the way? Native Dane, by the way.
Native Dane. Well, come on, can you say something in Danish? Can you say?
Nope. Carrying on.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna try and put you on the spot.
Isn't that dude? No.
What? Yeah, Rude. Yeah, that's really good actually. I mean, I'm impressed. Also, we have to give the MVP, Rude. Can you tell me the MVP in Danish?
No.
If you want to say
the same name in English, no?
No, it's MVP in R.
Nær?
MVP in R.
I don't trust you.
Okay, just say the MVP then.
Wait, okay, so this is Jungle Diff again, I think. Akaban did everything. Akaban wins MVP. Because, yes, WoW was solo killing in the top side quite frequently, but he did get a gank from Akaban, which helps him out. Bot lane, there were several Akaban moments. Mid lane, there were several Akaban moments. And so far, this has just been, at least gaming. It
has been a lovely little conversation about languages, but we are about to move into the interviews route as we have Ekeen ready from UniQ. And Ekeen, thank you so much for joining us after such a tough loss. It was pretty good to see. When Nord got rolling, they are hard to stop. I'm not going to try and make you take any positives away from that game because it was just a couple early mistakes and then you weren't allowed to really play the game. But overall, how is the mood in the camp? Can we take the temperature on how UniQ is doing?
It's up and down, of course. No one wants to lose, especially in this manner where you just lose in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. So, but I think we recover very well, and we've had for example a couple of weeks ago we lost to Domino in a rough fashion, but then we came back very strong next day. So, it's of course always sadder after these kind of losses, but we are also happy at the end of the day later on.
Yeah, I mean, you there's not much to say about today. It's not the end of the world. These games are going to happen, and when Nord come in at 7-1, they're a little bit anticipated. I want to know what your goal for, not necessarily just UniQ, but yourself as a whole. What do you want to get from your time in esports? I think a good time to get to know you in particular.
I mean, I really enjoyed the coaching aspect, so it's just trying to improve at it, try to get better at, especially coaching different kind of players, different kind of people. I think that's like to me, probably like the hardest thing about being coach is like, how do you deal with different kind of people? Like, you know, one guy you talk to one way, and then the other person the other way. So just improving in it and trying to get, you know, these kind of younger talents that we have into better teams potentially, and, you know, maybe hopefully we get myself there as well, but, you know, develop them and get them to improve as much as they can.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, especially, you know, as you said, the different personalities, the different kind of players. Obviously, they're going to react to feedback in different ways. I find that to be a really, really interesting topic. I'm happy to hear you find that interesting as well. I want to take, how do you feel on tomorrow? Because obviously playoffs looks very hard now to get, but if you beat Virtus, there is still a slight chance. So everything is really on the line for tomorrow. Are you guys ready?
I mean, for sure we're ready, but I mean, Riddle is also a really good team. They lost today, so maybe they're a bit tilted for tomorrow and we can strike, hopefully, you know. But I mean, who knows? But we'll be more ready, hopefully, and put up a better performance because today was just a bit tragic after the first couple of minutes. If we execute, I think it would have been really nice to see if we actually executed the dive a bit better, because I think the game would have been a lot different. Maybe we wouldn't win anyway, but at least we would actually be able to show a bit more.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that as well. Thank you so much, Akin, for coming on, especially after such a tough loss. Commiserations. I can't wait to see you guys go again tomorrow and hopefully pick up a W in this week. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
And with that, Ruud, it's back to you and me, because we're about to have, for the first time in NLC history, WoW on a winner's interview. It took 8 wins, and then WoW is finally here. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what this kid has to say. Because as I told, I think it was the first time we were on, I saw the goodbye video from K-Corp about WoW, and I was instantly sold. You know, I saw the big crowds go crazy, I saw the crazy outplays, I felt the story, I felt the energy, and instantly from that moment I knew I had to see this guy in action, and he has not disappointed me. Every time I watch him, I go, wow, he's good.
That was so bad. That was so awful. Play-by-plays are supposed to make cringe puns all the time. That was not it. I mean, that hits the marker for cringe puns, but it just leaves a bit of taste in the mouth. But you are quite right. That, you know, he's certainly made a splash. Let's bring him in. Come on up.
Yeah, let's bring the guy in. Wow, welcome to interview. How are you doing?
Hello guys. Hello.
I'm very excited to have you on. First of all, wow, how has playing in the NLC been for you?
It's actually, I'm feeling very good. I have very good teammates. I love my team very a lot, and I'm super happy to finally to play in a professional, so I can show my level. And yeah, it's been a very good match we had. I hope we can finish top 1 this split and reach OE Masters.
Good. So
Yeah.
you played for K-Corp, right? Last split. You were playing with Cabo Shard. What was it like being a top laner with, or under another top laner with so much experience? Did you learn a lot from Cabo, or were you just raw talent as well? Oh, sorry. So you played with Cabo Shard last year, right?
Yeah.
Was that good? Did you learn a lot, or just you are super good yourself?
It was very good. I learned a lot with them. With to be in the same team as them. I learned a lot. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. What do you have to say to your French fans?
Exactly.
There we go.
Thank you guys for supporting us, supporting my team. I appreciate a lot. Merci beaucoup in French. Tomorrow new match. I hope we win, and I hope we will meet K-Corp at OE Masters, and I can face Cabo Shard.
That's perfect. I have no further questions. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. And have a good
Thank
day,
you.
man.
Good day. Bye bye. Merci, les
Bye-bye.
gars.
Bye.
Oh, man. He was amazing. He was exactly as I expected.
Wholesome.
He's got
Wholesome
drip as
top
well, man. Did
laner.
you see his outfit?
Yeah.
I didn't see the full fit, but that looked fire.
I was intimidated. My guy came in rocking the beanie, the fresh coat. There's something there, you know?
Yeah, he was drippy. What a couple of games we've had. It's been an excellent day of NLC, but it's time to throw it to a break one more time, because when we come back, we'll have an exciting battle between Domino and Vanilla.